Wanna fam, before we get started, I want to take the time to thank you for everyone who's been listening to the Wanna Pod. Please keep rating, review, and subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, YouTube, and SoundCloud. And make sure to tell a friend who might benefit from listening. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you, so everything helps. Help us spread the word about the importance of talking about mental health by donating to our Patreon campaign on patreon.com/wearenoalamo. Since you've been listening, know sometimes we joke about suicide, death, and other difficult mental health issues and situations, but we want you to know that we don't take it lightly, and we're concerned about you and the rest of our listener base. We really care about you and your well-being, so if you're having suicidal thoughts or a plan, please stop listening to this podcast and call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK, or text home to 741-741. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and they provide 24/7 support to people in crisis situations. Remember, We're No Alamo is about opening up the conversations, and sometimes it's easier to talk about hard stuff when there's a little laughter involved. Remember, we want you to stay with us, and you're not alone because we are No Alamo.
Woohoo.
Happy November, and welcome to We Are No Alamo, the mental health podcast. I am your host, Paige Whalen, my co-host, Matthew. Hey.
How you guys doing tonight? Glad to be here.
And Donnie. What's up, Donnie?
What's up, everybody?
All right. So November is about negotiation. October was about openness. I think we had a solid month. Everyone, thank you for listening. It was a lot of fun to go into the analytics and see, one person per day to 50 people per day to 20 people per day listening. All unique listeners, also on iTunes. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help. And to know that you guys are actually invested in listening to us is really cool. So I want to social media shout out to everyone out there who's been listening. Also, if you gave $5 to this podcast on our Patreon page, patreon.com/wearenoalamo, we'd be able to raise hundreds of dollars for our podcast with just one donation of $5. So please take that into consideration. It's starting the giving season. November, Thanksgiving, what's up? Yeah.
I know, and someone has a Christmas sweater on already.
I know, right? This is actually Matthew's.
Yeah. I would say take that off, but that would be awkward.
No, yeah. I know, right?
But I want
Who wants to see?
Yeah. Halloween was yesterday, so you got to tone it down a bit.
It could be her Halloween costume.
Yeah, right?
I know. We were a little early to bed, early to rise for Halloween.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything for Halloween.
Same. We were going to carve pumpkins, and Matthew was like, I'm tired. And I was like, I've had 2 glasses of wine.
And next thing you know, she's asleep at 9.
there was not much I could have done because my daughter was going through her first cold, so
yeah.
we couldn't bring her out. I wanted to bring her trick-or-treating, but just time-wise, it's just...
You have so much time, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much better. What has been y'all's favorite Halloween memory, by the way?
Favorite Halloween memory?
Yeah.
Of all time?
All time.
All time.
I'll start because my mom needs a shout out. Shout out, Sherry Whalen.
You just interrupted me, by the way.
I know, but think about it.
Nope.
Think about it.
Nope.
Did I apologize? No, because I don't have 10 cents right now. But we used to have, we lived in a circle.
A cul-de-sac?
A circle. Yes, a cul-de-sac. And my mom used to make Halloween flyers. We'd have this huge neighborhood Halloween party every year. And we would print out the Halloween invitations on colored paper, come to this Halloween party at the Whalens, dress up. Everyone would bring their kids from around the neighborhood. We'd have a huge, trough of candy that everyone would come in. It was like a community candy trough. And then we'd all sit around in a circle and, trick or treat around the neighborhood. We'd have, the thing blocked off. And it was bigger than Christmas, man. I looked forward to Halloween every year. And I feel like it's a little, I'm sorry, Mom, for being so boring this year. What was your favorite memory, Matthew?
So I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, so Halloween wasn't something that you walked to usually the elementary school in your neighborhood, and they'd have a carnival there. So we really couldn't trick or treat because it'd be, by the time Halloween was here, -10. We'd already have snow. It wasn't like you could really be outside too much.
It's called trick or frostbite.
Trick or frostbite.
Pretty much.
That could go south real quick.
So when I moved to Texas, when I was 12, I was 9. It was my first time being able to trick or treat outside without.
Are you sorry?
Yeah, I am.
He doesn't even want to do it.
You really did it.
Yep. No.
Accountability job.
Accountability jar, Matthew.
There we go.
Did you can shake that door and not put anything in it. You're a smooth son of a.
It really is. Don't worry. I know where his change is.
All my change is in the accountability jar at home. So there you go.
That's true.
That is very true. No, so it was my first time like getting to actually trick or treat till sunset and be outside. Like actually use like a sleeping bag, your pillow, and filling it up with candy. Like so that was like the coolest one. And it's probably the last time I ever did it too. So
Yeah.
yeah, not the biggest on trick or treating, but
Well,
or dressing up.
have you ever trick or treated when you were too old, do you think?
Nope.
I think I did. But
I'm
I'm not
pretty sure you
sure.
did.
Like
Well,
what
you're
too
never
old
really too
is.
old unless you out of high school. You're too old. While you're in high school, you can still do it.
I don't think so.
I think once you
Where's
hit 18,
where's the line, Donnie?
I don't think you should-
18's way too old.
No, because would you rather have a
think it's
17-year-old
like
out trick or treating
12.
or out drinking?
Trick or treating.
Exactly.
I think it's like 12 though.
No, I think it's like I used to give it to high
I
schoolers.
think the line's like 45.
I think it should be. Well, half the time. So you think about this: all those parents with kids, Donnie included,
Oh
the
my
parents
God.
are walking with the kids. The kids can't walk, so who's really doing the trick or treating?
This is so
I
not
am.
PC.
Fuck it,
Exactly.
Yeah. Have y'all seen the SNL episode of the guy who goes as a pedophile to house?
I have not seen that.
I have
never
not,
want.
and I don't want to.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's like, hello, I'm Peter. I'm a pedophile. Ha ha, I'm required by law to tell you. And they're like, is this a Halloween costume? He's like,
Isn't that the skit where the guy
there's
was
Peter.
like, "What's worse than they had like a board and they had to like kind of tear off the thing to see what was over the next word."
Yeah.
And it was like rapist. It was like
Yes.
rapist, and he turns the thing and it's like, "What's worse than a rapist?" And he pulls it off, and it's child on top of rapist. And the guy
Oh,
goes,
God.
"A child is worse than a rapist?" I'm like, no.
No, dude.
Child.
Like, that's not the game.
Now, put two and two together.
It was terrible. All right, back to negotiations. So, Matthew, you're a technical recruiter for Technology Navigators
I am.
recruiting company.
Just a
Tell
little
me
bit.
about your week. You had a great week. It sounded like.
I did. I had a good week. I mean, good and bad. There's always good and bad things that happen.
Okay.
You know,
Start with the good.
so I got another gentleman in an amazing job here in town, so that's awesome.
Congratulations.
That makes me really happy.
What does that mean for you? What does that mean for him?
Well, it means he's making more money than he was before, and now he actually has better benefits through my company and things like that. So, like, he didn't have benefits
Nice.
before while he was as a contract worker. Now he does, on top of making more money per hour. So it works out well for him and for me
awesome.
because it's a great client, it's a good company, and more than likely they're going to bring him on permanently pretty
Nice.
quickly. So.
And why is negotiation important for recruitment?
Oh my God, it's the most. I don't even know if it's so much.
Myth is, and Donnie, shout me out if I'm wrong, but we talked about this in our episode, Recruiters Are Friends. Check that out on iTunes. Rate, review, and subscribe, comment. Anyway, so it's in recruiters' better interest to hire you at a higher rate so that they can get commissions off of that salary.
Yes.
People in other companies searching for candidates hire you to find those people, and they pay a pretty penny, right?
They can. Yeah.
So why is it in your better interest to get someone like a really good job and to like you don't have to negotiate? Because
Well, yeah.
I know people come there and they're like, oh, we want to negotiate because it's in our better interest. It's like no, misconception.
I mean, like, it can be for some things, but a lot of times, I guess it depends on the type of. Like, there are the bad eggs out there who are going to try to not pay someone what they're worth, and that's a fact. But that's with everything. I mean, how many job offers have people had that you're not getting paid what you're worth?
I don't know because no one talks about salary.
I know. And so there's those
about it.
issues. But like sometimes, like with myself, you tell me what you want, I'm going to try to work with that. And I'll be blunt. I'm like, you say it's a contract position or a full-time position, and you're saying I need to make $160K a year or whatever number it is. I'm going to tell you if I can find it or not. And I'll tell you if I think you're worth it or not. Based on your experience, if you can do the job, then you might be worth it. But I don't really like to negotiate when it comes to that because this is what you're looking for. This is what you want. Okay, I can roll with that. But I'm
Okay.
going to try to be realistic within your means. Like if you're, somebody without the experience, I'm going to tell you straight to your face that this is going to be a long shot. Like this
Yeah.
is probably going to work for you. Like you need to take things into perspective. You don't have a degree. You went to a boot camp and you've worked for 2 years. You're not a $150,000 a year person.
So to someone who might
No offense
have
to anybody
been-
out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're not.
Thanks, Matt. You're a real son of a bitch.
I know, right?
I am,
We're,
but that's not why.
we're not.
I love that.
We're not code program shaming people here.
No. And my thing is, it is important to be upfront with whoever you're talking to because, like I actually lost a deal a few weeks ago because a person, we agreed on something. We agreed on being paid X an hour for the next 2 to 3 years. Long term contract, all that stuff. Well, then once they got the job offer, they changed their mind. Like, well, I actually need to make more money. That we didn't agree on that, even though we had it in email strings that this is what we agreed to.
So it's like a negative
Well, because they
aspect
thought
of
that
negotiation.
you're offering me this, now they offer me the job. Now you'll be willing to pay me more. But the thing is, we aren't able to. Like
You already negotiated that.
we negotiated that with the client. That was the rate that they were going to pay for this person, and there was no wiggle room because we're giving everything we can.
Can I cut you off for a second?
Yes.
I'm very interested to find out how your field is going to change with the. I'm sure you're aware of the new kind of process that Microsoft and Google have implemented and Apple have implemented, where they're trying to hire more candidates without a degree now.
Mm-hmm.
Because before they were actually requiring you to have some sort of degree under your belt, and now because so many people are being self-taught with the internet, it's actually becoming vice versa. Like people are like, "Oh,
how hard you been trying?"
Yeah, because like anybody, not to say I'm not trying to falter or put down anybody that has a degree, but the thing is that I feel like with these big time organizations, they've also realized that college can sometimes be a ripoff for a lot of people. Like you end up going to school and end up doing all this stuff, and then now you hear people talking about how trade schools are better and how all this stuff is better.
It's time because we're going through a situation where people, the environment's becoming saturated with all these higher level degrees in trades such as welding. Or,
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. That last comment is something that people say, but it's not true.
Tell me, correct me, sir.
25% of the American population has a college degree, around 25%. And then if you go higher education, so we're going like master's degree, PhD level, you're talking 1 to 2%. So it's not being saturated yet. So that's
what about like with Christian, my sister, the pharmacist? She super saturated environment.
Certain fields that is different. So there is specifics of certain fields. Like your sister's a pharmacist. Pharmacists, they did build too many schools up. That was for grad school, and they released too many people. That's a common issue when things have become in the market. You have a large hole, so people are trying to fill it. So you build up more programs to fill the hole, but then it becomes a more problem because you're producing more than than the economy can sustain.
Supply and demand issue.
Exactly. So it would have been better for them to create less schools, kind of like med schools. They haven't really created too many new med schools in this country in a long time. We are seeing a shortage of doctors, but by making it easier to become a doctor is not necessarily a good thing. That's
why you're seeing so many PAs now.
Yep. To try to fill that hole, but that makes sense. But like with technology, I do see a lot of people are self-taught, and I actually talked to a dude today who is his dad was a senior level architect for a major corporation. So for his entire life, he's been coding, but, so he went to college, he got another degree, but he was working full time the entire time. In his situation, it works well, right? Because he's been coding his whole life, and he's been also in the field now working professionally for 10 years. Yeah. That changes the ball game.
Does it?
It does, because if you taught yourself to get that first job is going to be tough because you're going to have to prove that you can do what they want you to do. It's a little bit different ball game. When they recruit at colleges, at least they know that you went through X, Y, and Z classes. When they were hiring people from other self-taught individuals, which there's a lot out there. Like I'm working
but
with.
I've heard, and I'm going to cut you off just to kind of turn the tables a little bit. I've heard from project management in the past that they don't necessarily trust self-taught individuals as much as they would someone who's been self-taught by a curriculum-based.
Yeah. Well, there's things you just won't know. There are things you won't know, like with algorithms per se.
Yeah. So
there's a benefit to both. And
there's
I think
negotiation there.
There is. I mean, like I have a company I work with that pretty much said we don't care what degree you have if you have one at all. Mm-hmm. We want to know your desire, your passion, and what you've done. But they're also still only looking for people with 8 to 10 years minimum experience.
Right.
Because they're looking for people who have, cut their teeth in the startup, they've done their work, they've proven themselves.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear something crazy?
I would love to.
I don't mean to cut you off either, but you want to hear something like...
Y'all need to stop apologizing for cutting each other off and just be like, I'm cutting you off, motherfucker.
For example,
get in there.
An example of what I'm saying is that like you have a company like Naughty Dog, which is like the biggest
oh my god, Naughty Dog
video game company in like
Uncharted, rock on.
Yeah. And I
did Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Love Crash Bandicoot.
So I'm friends with a couple of employees that work over there. I met them over at PAX East a couple years back. And they were talking about Uncharted, and I asked them, I said, if I wanted to go into Naughty Dog as a conceptual artist or as a environmental artist or as a programmer, a 2D or 3D artist, what would the interview be like? And they told me, they said, we're not even kidding you right now. You can walk in with as many credentials as you want, as many magna cum laudes as you want, as many. They literally sit you down and they're like, draw us a box.
Let's see how you draw a
It's
box.
not like, well, here's a landscape I did, and here's a vertical landscape showing. Here's my
down with
layout
the
of this
basics
level that I have, and the level I use the rule of thirds to put
Yeah.
all different types of things in the scene, in the shot. No, they're like, draw us a box, and we want to see how you do it.
Yep.
And it's like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's 100% what happens every time.
Well, definitely at IKEA.
A lot of these guys that go in there with degrees that are ready, they're like, oh my god, these guys are gonna ask me to do like things like, oh, how's your zebra skills, how's your Maya skills, how's your It's like they get taken back because you're like, what? It's like, I guess maybe that might come into consideration with the fact that a lot of these things can be very easily manipulated today's age, and like how resume statistics have shown that people,
oh my
75%
god,
rely on their resume and like all this crazy stuff.
We talk about resumes all day. Well, since we're talking about work, it's time for Wanna weigh in. Wanna weigh in. So, talking about negotiation, at my job, I have the opportunity to telework twice a week. And for my mental health and my mental well-being, it's a huge bonus because I don't have to deal with, commuting. I can work a couple extra hours, then I can mentally find my baseline again before I have to deal with an hour's worth of traffic. And my manager negotiated with higher level ups and like everybody else to be able to give her staff that privilege. So for Wanna Weigh In today, I want to talk about the 100-hour work week. Y'all, do you want to weigh in?
I want to weigh in. I've been there. I've done that.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it. What is the 100-hour work week? I've never heard of it before.
Oh, man. Welcome to the life of, like, startups.
What? No, I've worked in startups, though. Like, that's why this is crazy that I don't know about this.
I want to weigh in for one goddamn second.
Get in there,
Please
Donnie.
do.
Okay, so
straighten this out.
I'm probably
you wanna.
I'm probably the only one at this table that's actually worked in video gaming, the field of video gaming.
Absolutely.
So, I worked at SIE in San Diego for 2 years. I worked on titles like God of War, Fat Princess, Mag, God of War 3 to be precise. Just all these different.
Love those games, by the way.
Yeah. So, in particular, so here's where I fall on the subject. It's either good or bad.
It depends.
So what I mean by that is it's if I look at it, our 100-hour work week's good. No, nobody wants to work a 100-hour work week. But here's the big but. A lot of these guys that are coming out of like with college degrees, and are excited to get going, and a lot of them are in their mid-20s,
early 20s.
So I can speak for myself in saying when I got a job at SIE, I was so adamant on working in the gaming industry and so excited on working in the gaming industry that for me, I didn't have a family yet. I didn't have, my rent was in San Diego. I was paying $500 rent a month because I was splitting my rent with 4 other dudes living in a private gated community with a pool and hot chicks everywhere.
Dude, that was not my life. Fuck you, man. I was paying $500 a month with a pool with 5 dudes. I mean. I'm like, that sounds like a dream,
Was it a one-bedroom apartment?
I know. Try renting a 1-bedroom apartment in Oakland for $2,700 a month. Everyone, allergies are real.
Yeah.
Also, I've just been screaming at Donnie all day for how big of a piece of shit he is for like one of it. I'm kidding, bro.
So
Love you, man.
I was living in a house, and we were really lucky, and I had a great. And I was like, why am I going to complain if I'm getting like huge fat paychecks to work on games? Even though QA is definitely one of the most rigorous.
No shit, you have to.
Quality assurance is like you don't really matter.
Talk about QA on Easter eggs. How do you even get there?
Well, no, not even.
Same as Easter egg. How do you?
Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic.
Go ahead.
Just
go ahead.
Stay on topic.
Okay.
So I had many occasions, especially in particular on Fat Princess, having to meet deadline and be come out at a certain point in time, being delayed multiple times, they were pushing us, and I was doing about 80-hour, 85-hour work weeks with the team over there in quality assurance.
Yeah.
And that was also with the developers of Fat Princess on microphones. They were talking with them, having live beta tests, having live alpha tests, just going through this whole entire process of crunch to get the game out in time to meet that deadline, because they couldn't delay again, because then it's like, how much money are we dumping into this?
Yeah, for what?
It's too much. So, but the thing is like, I gotta be honest with you. I was young. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities, and I fucking loved the money. And did I really notice the 80-hour work weeks? Not really. But then here's where the conversation kind of goes
to the mental health situation, because I was about to be like, but excuse me.
Here's where it falls on its. Here's where it kind of flips over, and you have the yin and yang.
Yeah.
What's that situation like if I'm now 35, 36 years old? I have a family, a wife at home, a kid at home, a 4-month-old at home, and I never
who has a cold,
and I never see them.
Well, that and the point is, if you've been working that many hours for a long time, you can't really ask to stop.
Because you've always been doing that.
Because of the fact that you see your boss there doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, what do? You get up and walk out, and you're like, I gotta go home now. And it's like, wait, your boss is still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, how are you gonna get a raise? How are you gonna make yourself stand out from a crowd of people if you want to do regular 40-hour work week?
Yep. Well, I mean, personally, I think there's some is industry depending on what you're doing. And I think like my brother-in-law is an actuary. You know, during end of quarter, he is working 80-hour weeks. He's working every Saturday and Sunday to finish up what they have to do for the end of quarter. Understandable. It's a life you chose to a degree. That's not every week. You know, I think the 100-hour work week, I get, like you're saying, I understand it too. Because I mean, like if you're in a release cycle, you have to get things released.
But life
you have patches to make.
Agile environment.
No, but this is if you're in a certain company, depending on certain things.
Tech speak, everybody.
The terms change when you have huge companies and the suits come in and they're like, my money's going into this. What's going on?
Yep.
Right.
Like, we're not delaying again.
So what are the pros of working that much?
There is no pros to it.
So
except you get something done and you have a end product that you can be proud of. And I think
I agree with Matt on this. I think a lot of these individuals understand and know that's eventually going to happen.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think, you know, from my point of view is, like I worked in sales for startups where I was working 60 to 80-hour weeks. Mm-hmm. And that was expected. You know, you worked Monday through Saturday and you worked from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. That's just the way it was. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a job.
Well, let's wrap it up. Good conversation. Happy I'm not working 100 hours a week. But
Me
happy
too,
that it might work for some people.
I don't know if it works for anybody.
Well, Reddit said it's a myth, so whatever.
Oh, no, I know those guys.
Good conversation. I'm definitely going to talk more about it, honestly, especially with my mom, who's a teacher, and she fucking puts in so many hours. But rounding it up around the horn, mastering self-soothe. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Last time.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I didn't get mine last week. I didn't do any of my mastery. I didn't run like I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do my mastery either.
We both didn't do it. We both didn't keep each other accountable. So this week is...
anyway.
You might have.
Turn.
But you didn't run the 5K like you wanted. Keeping you accountable. I will be doing my 5K tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Saturday morning. With or without somebody.
With or without you.
And then this weekend, I plan to actually do something for me. I haven't decided what that is yet, but something for me. It might just be locking myself in my headset for like 6 hours and playing video games. It might not be. I'm not sure yet.
Self-soothe. It's a commitment to self-soothe. We're going to do Around the Horn. Donnie.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, how was your mastery of the video games last time?
And the game itself is over like 200 hours long.
So it's so crazy,
I love it.
man.
It's a long time before I master that game. I'm taking my time with it though. I'm trying to get my best with like the hour and a half, 2 hours.
I love how you talk about, man, I'm just taking my time.
I am. Like I'm soaking it
Easing
in.
into it.
You have to at this point in time.
Yeah, it's like Westworld, that game. Seriously, it's like an ultimate cowboy simulator. But I actually also have been doing this diet, and
for everyone on the audio pod, Donnie looks real good. I saw him and I was like, your face is so thin.
I guess where I'm going with that is that like I almost feel bad for women sometimes because women don't lose weight as fast as men do.
So true.
And it's like my wife sits there and sees me do it, and she's like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
you've already lost like 12 pounds and you've only been dieting for like a week.
Yeah. I had a baby and I'm breastfeeding and I'm like, what?
Yeah. And all I've really been doing is just drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
Juicing, a lot of vegetables. I have broccoli like 3 times a day.
Nice. Broccoli's delicious.
Oh, it's, you know what?
Paige won't eat it though.
It gets a lot.
Hide it in my meatloaf. I'll eat it, everybody. I hate vegetables.
I don't think there's anything better on this planet than getting like steamed broccoli, some garlic, some little bit of olive oil, and like, oh, it's so good.
I agree.
And you feel great after. You just feel great. But
I'm literally gagging right now.
oh, it's so good.
I'm so a brown
I
food.
don't mind it as much. And the junk, it's been like junk food, Coke, all that stuff. Like in the beginning, it was a little tough because on my schedule and what I do, it's like I'm always running around trying to meet deadlines, trying to do whatever. So it's like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop at Taco Bell, get a burger. And it's like now I'm like,
It's not Lent yet, right?
No. You know what I've been,
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, I'm talking too much right now. But one last thing before I finish.
Is that 10 cents?
I've been doing.
That was 10 cents, honey.
I've been doing. On my way to work or trying to do whatever. I've been doing. I bring a box of kashi with me. Kashi cereal. Mm-hmm. And I'll have banana. And I literally have a bowl and a spoon in the car.
That's freaking awesome.
Randall's, and I'll get almond milk with kashi and banana. And I'll eat it. And I'll be like, no Taco Bell for me, and I'm good.
Yep.
Nice.
And a lot less. Well, Taco Bell's really dirt cheap, but still.
All right, mastery for me. Next 24 hours, get this podcast up. Really want to start hitting the donations, guys. Patreon.com/WeAreNoAlamo helps keep the podcast going.
It's not really a mastery for you.
It is a mastery because if I get donations, then that will be my acceptance criteria for my mastery goal. And self-soothe. I'm just going to take a long hot shower tonight and just enjoy life because it's my first full week at this new job and I'm so proud of myself and I'm happy for this team that we have around us. Love you guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Another good podcast. Remember, you are not alone because
we are no Alamo.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Ciao, poopsies.
Maron.